All right, good morning. We are live. We got Joe here on time at least, but Matt's late. So between one of them, I gotta wait for one of them. But we're gonna start already. But good morning. So Joe, welcome, man. It's been a while.
What's going on? Good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. Why don't you kind of fill everyone in then? Because you got so many. I don't know which channels to put for you now. So maybe just quickly fill everyone in what you're working on.
Yeah, I mean, you might know me from the Strive for 25 podcast. Over 120 episodes in, it's all about increase income, save 25%, have options to invest. Um, I'm on a pause right now on the podcast, just right now focusing on the business, which is the lending side. So I've been doing residential lending since 2006. And so just building back up the business and then sprinkling a little bit of commercial lending as well. So this is going to my mortgage YouTube channel, which I'm working on building out.
Well, you can put the link for that because I don't have the link. I'm not prepared for that one. I only have your other ones. But yeah,
That's
man,
okay.
it's good. It's good
Okay.
having you back.
Yeah, man.
I see
Appreciate it.
Jason's here. Hyder's here. Hyder's in Jacksonville, I believe, still yet. He went to the Rebel Capitalist event for his free ticket. And then we got Joe V here. So Joe V's here to make trouble probably. But Joe V's been sending a whole bunch of baby podcast Theo Vaughn videos right now, which he's in love with. But those are hilarious. But hey, what's up, Sam? How's it going? But yeah, Matt's running late, as so. But yeah, we'll get started. So, like I talked about, what do you mean? I am prepared, but Joe has like 10 channels now. I don't know which one to promote. So he has like a whole bunch. So I don't know how to keep up with him. So, anyways, though, but yeah, today I kind of thought about, hey,
Two.
Flavio, I want to let you know you're tuning in from someone else's channel. So get your ass back to mine, please. But thanks for tuning in. But yeah, it's almost the halfway point for the year, and I kind of want to touch on maybe I know Joel's working on a lot of things. Matt's been on and off, so I know he's busy working on stuff too. But kind of, how are you doing with your maybe? I know we don't want to say goals that you set for the year, but how are you progressing halfway through the year so far?
Yeah, this is a year for me where annual goals throw them out the window. I'm back to the basics, just working on the little bitty things, processes, systems. So in lending for me personally, this is one of the worst stretches that I've been a part of. For 18 years, just the number of transactions is pretty low. So, you know, thankfully we've been busy enough, and a lot of the deals that are coming through my desk are very challenging. And so by challenging, it just means a lot of time and just pure chaos, unfortunately. So just trying to survive the days when it comes to lending. But at the end of the day, being able to build the brand and reconnect with a lot of old partners and just stay in front of people. And that's the one thing that I will always say to people that are thinking about content, especially Facebook, is that I run into people every now and then that never comment, never like, never do anything engage at all. That, hey man, I've seen all your stuff. Keep it up. Thanks, bro. How about a like one time? So no, man, just lending content. That's what I'm working on. Just the little things, just the process, showing up every day.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I think I've always touched on that. My son's mom, she had a business before, and that's the one thing I always feel like I did not support in that way. I was supportive of it, but like you're saying, those likes or just a emoji comment or whatever, right? They go a long way, right? Instead of just viewing it, that it does go a long way at showing support. So even all these people tuning in, like we say, Hyder's always here, Flavio, Joe, even if they're probably not even listening anymore, but they tune in, just put
Right.
their comment, right? And that shows me that, hey, that's some support. So I love that. So thanks all of them for doing that. But like you said too, right? You've kind of took a break from the podcast side. Was that the vision from the beginning of the year?
Um, my last episode was December, and I was just going in too many different directions that I just needed to simplify, because the podcast is a long term thing, a long term vision of what I wanted to be able to do. But unfortunately, just it's not something that is a priority with where business is right now. I need to be focused on different lanes, so to speak. But it is something that I'll get back to at some point down the road. Because the biggest thing, and this is the reason for the podcast, right? I mean, I'm in lending, right? I mean, the biggest limiting factor for people who want to purchase real estate or buy a home, especially if you're buying a primary residence or maybe even a first-time home buyer, is not having enough money saved. And then as I'm talking to somebody, okay, well, if I could have been working with you a year ago, we could have been working on building up your credit scores or maybe putting a savings plan together. But going down the rabbit hole of, this content and podcast world, you see so many ways that people are generating extra income, and it doesn't have to be a lot to get ahead. It could be $500 a month, a side job on a weekend to be able to tilt the scales and have the confidence to fall forward instead of fall backward. So, that's kind of my thing is, looking at this from a long-term perspective. There's a video that I have saved on my phone. It talks about, hey, Daddy, how come nobody believed in you on the way up? And it has the number 2040, the year 2040. And that's what I have in the back of my mind is I'm building something that's not just a 1 year or even a 5 year or a 10-year thing. I'm building something bigger than something bigger than myself. And so it takes time, and you have ebbs and flows and, failures along the way. And if your vision is strong enough, then, the why figures itself out over time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it too, the struggle is that during the shutdown, a lot of people grew very quickly, right? So a lot of things, side stuff, were very successful because the world was shut down in a sense. So even like people's brands, YouTube channels were growing much quicker. Now it's kind of saturated in a sense, so it is taking a lot longer for some people. It is a lot of work, but like you said, you're building it for years down the road, right? So
Yep.
once you get to that point, then you can kind of pivot from there in a sense, or navigate it a little bit differently. And that's kind of what my vision for the YouTube channel side is. And I definitely am. I mean, me being hurt right now has actually been fortunate enough where I'm able to put out and do more of these lives consistently at a consistent time. So that's been super helpful too. So that's also why people are wondering maybe why I'm doing so many lives, but it's just I have the opportunity to take advantage. And even me with Zuber right now, we do have a regular episode recorded on Thursdays. So that's just because now that I can commit to a certain time, I told him, hey, we can do something for now. So that's why it's worked out. But what else for this year? I mean, has this, like you said, it's been a rough time for transaction wise, lending wise. Are you trying to do anything different, or are you just doubling down on putting yourself out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on, well, one, I've been doing more commercial lending stuff. So that's been, an opportunity that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to get deeper down that rabbit hole and get more tools and resources and relationships built up. And, those are bigger dollar deals. So, when all said and done in the future, it could be something that takes me out of residential lending. I don't know. And there's a couple other things I'm working on to dig deeper on some bigger relationships. So, I mean, at the end of the day, just trying to figure out where I can find leverage in my actions and my habits. So, I'm in the middle of a few things that I'll let you know how they work out in due time.
Wait, did you say you might pivot from residential lending?
I mean, this is a down the road kind of a thing, but down the road.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, so did you ever? What's with the Florida property? Did you ever get to sell that? What happened with
No,
that?
it's still
So that's
hanging out
still
there. Yep. Yeah, still
all
hanging
right.
out there.
All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. For me, the channel's doing well. I mean, that's kind of my main focus right now. So that's what am I at? 857 now, so close to 1,000 subscribers. I have the watch hours, which is good. I definitely notice putting shorts out every day helps with the viewer count. So my views have gone up like quite a bit. So that, I mean, when I hit 95,000 views, I was like, oh, that's good. But now that I've been putting shorts out every day,
Mm-hmm.
it went to like 130, 130K, like super fast. So I think the shorts definitely make a difference. But I gotta get better at doing like how Dion just does like random short live clips of him, walking around or putting out a post or something. So I think I gotta do better on that sense, but they'll be in due time. So maybe when I'm in Japan, I'll do that. I'm gonna be on a trip, so maybe I'll work
or
on that.
or hanging from rooftops from
Is
buildings.
you like you tried to make one clinging onto the side of a building? Was that what you were trying to do?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw it, but it didn't really look like. I mean, no, it was good. Yeah, I could tell you were clinging
No.
onto.
Well, the thing that's funny is that like on Instagram, I mean, it's got like I don't know 350 views, and then it's got 2 views on YouTube. And I've been using Opus clips to cut out some of the live clips that we've been doing, and that's why I was asking you about some of the things that you're using from a system and tool standpoint because Opus clips when you post to YouTube, I mean the engagement is terrible. I mean 2 and 3 and 4 views, but
Yeah,
then when I do it a regular reel that I edit on my own in CapCut and then download it and upload, then those will get normal views 200, 500,000, whatever. So I don't know. What are you seeing from Opus clips? Did you ever use Opus clips and push them out?
I don't use Opus clips to push it out. I just use Opus clips to get the clips, and then I'll put it through captions. And should we let him in right now, or should we talk smack about him before we let him in from the
We
backstage for
should
being late?
probably talk smack for at least a minute or so. Do we have any comments out there that want to throw a comment out there that we can say out loud before
There,
Matt gets here?
there was a Michael paired from his channel probably asking, "All right, what's the excuse for being late?" So, hold on, we'll let him, we'll let him in. Hold on. Ah, here he is. So, like I said before, I used to always have to
Yo,
wait for
what's up, guys?
Joel, and then now Matt's the guy that shows up late every
Dude, I
time. So,
wanted to I wanted to show Joel up.
all right. Well, we are talking about it's almost the halfway point of the year, kind of recapping how things are going, maybe whatever goals we may have set for the year, how we're progressing, and what we're looking for the second half of the year. So, where are you at right now at almost the halfway point?
I'd say for goals when it comes to progressing, I feel like in the beginning, I think it's really easy to get stuck on having these goals, right? So like I remember beginning it was like I want to have my first house by this age. And then you get to that first house and then like what I noticed is as you approach your goals, you know, the people like kind of in that like-minded community, they continue to um as they reach it, they never really reach it, but they continue to push forward of that goal. So then it was like, all right, now you own one house. Now it's like, okay, I want to start an Airbnb. All right, cool. I got the goal of now starting an Airbnb. And then you start looking at these like targeted, like I'm doing 10K net cash flow after all expenses, debt paid out, right? So you start creating these goals. And then for me this year, after kind of my wife and I did Jess and I did we do our kind of annual goal setting retreat. We kind of focused more on like on our habits and what we want to prioritize as a family, right? So we kind of have these buckets of like family, career, business, and health. And I think we just focused mostly on trying to create what kind of habits of the person that we're trying to become, right? So we don't have any sort of like, hey, we're going to try to get 10 doors this year, 10 doors next year. So like we've kind of shied away from those tangible goals, and then just kind of control what we control on a daily basis. And this kind of is a kind of a little bit more manageable, I would say, at least for us in our current season of life. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Yeah. All right. So I don't see you. Are you? Maybe it's not showing up on my side, but are you doing a lot of stuff on YouTube anymore?
All for YouTube is just these lives that we post up
Yeah,
and then split them up into little shorts, and then that's
because
all
you
done
couldn't
through
you
Opus
couldn't do any
clips.
Tesla ones anymore, right? Because Tesla,
Dude, I put my money where my mouth is, right? So we bought some more Tesla, stacking them assets.
yeah, but you couldn't talk about it, or you would have got hated for it, probably.
Dude, there's always haters, man. No,
Did you?
we've really veered off the like YouTube and editing, all that stuff. It's just a natural progression, right?
Yeah, the in Hawaii there was this Tesla road rage guy that came from California. Are you like wiping your face and stuff? No, but
Dude, it's hot as hell, bro. I went for a run. I told you I was showering, dude. I
I
can't
know, I
stop
know.
sweating,
No,
dude.
but so this guy came from California. I guess he was some road rage guy in driving a Tesla in California, and I don't know, he got let out early or something, whatever. And then he ended up in Hawaii and he had the same incident. Basically, he punched this mom and daughter in their vehicle. Like he got pulled, he walked out, went to their vehicle, like punched punched him through, so yeah, then he ended up in jail. But they also showed a video of him at the Planet Fitness gym, like almost like taking a swing at this girl that's at the gym, and he's like, "Don't you dare walk by my machine, or don't walk by my machine that close or something." And anyways, they got into something, and he like took a swing at her, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's?" And then so anyways, but yeah, so he ended up in Hawaii, and then he went to jail, and I guess the people in jail might have took care of him a little bit. So there's this picture of him now, like he's just in a wheelchair, all bandaged up, all bust up from the other inmates while he was waiting. But yeah, but he was the Tesla road rage guy from California. Go look it up.
Wow, dude.
Let's see. Joe V says, "Yeah, nice to finally show up, Matt." Um, let's see. Joe V said, "What about finding people to keep pushing you forward to achieve your goals and to move forward? A lot of people tell you reach your goals, sit down, take a break. It's easy to fall into." Hmm. Well, but I don't know. Would you guys say you've reached your goals yet, or you guys still need that motivation?
You go ahead, Joel.
When you said you guys, I wasn't sure if you're talking about Matt and his wife. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll take it. Let's see. So I would think, um, like I mean, kind of like a little bit earlier, right? Like as you're reaching these goals, or as you set these goals out, as you're approaching them, you continue moving that goalpost, and I feel like you're never really satisfied. Um, but it's like a weird like dichotomy of like, sometimes it's good to like smell the roses a little bit, enjoy life, but at the same time, you're continually trying to push towards your goals and you're never really reaching them. So I don't know. That's kind of just how I feel about things, is like, because then you start getting complacent, right? And then the habits and actions that you took for the past, like, let's just call it 1,000 days that got you up until this point, right? Like, that's the person that got you to where you are. So if you kind of let your foot off the gas, right, um, you're just gonna be just like in average, right, or in neutral. I don't know. Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a big, for me personally, the comfort zone, right? I mean, you get into the comfort zone, and sometimes it's hard to get out. You work hard, you work hard, you work hard, you push, you push, you push. Maybe you hit a couple of goals. Maybe you flatline. Maybe you get burnt out. Maybe you get tired. Maybe you don't see the path going the way you wanted to go. Maybe you're thinking about pivoting or doing things differently. And you know, I've had to embrace the suck. And Mark talks about the 5 years of suck, right? I mean, sometimes your body will tell you, your subconscious will tell you, hey, maybe it's time to take a break. And I've had to learn to embrace it, accept it, because then your body comes out the other side a little bit more more rejuvenated or more focused than just continuing to go on this almost flat line. Like in my business, I mean, we were just going nonstop trying to be able to make things happen, and sometimes you just have to listen to your body, listen, you know, to your subconscious, you know, talking to you in cryptic ways, so to speak. So, all the habits, all the work, all the goals, it's important, but it's at the same time, like you said, being able to enjoy it and appreciate the shit, appreciate the failures, appreciate the 9 o'clock. I know that I should be probably working on this XYZ project, but I'm just gonna sit here and just relax and maybe read a book or chill and just appreciate that downtime. Being able to appreciate it was something that I've had to learn.
Yeah, I think so. Like Joe V is one of the kind of he runs not him and Max. They run this the Monday accountability group in the school community. So that call is a little more focused on really just bringing your goals for the week or whatnot and being held accountable. Whereas some of the other groups are a little more, you might dig into topics and situations that people are dealing with right now, but the Monday one is a little more like, yeah, bring your goal. We'll make fun of you if you don't, whatever, if you don't get it done for the week or push you for the week. So for me, it's more, I don't. I guess it's I don't know. I don't really need that motive somebody pushing me, I guess. I don't know. I just like being around like this community where everyone is kind of moving in the same direction and you can kind of just uh see everyone's wins and losses, and it's just kind of interesting to be around that. So just for me, it's just more just being around the community, and I guess because everyone is kind of moving in the same direction, that is just kind of that motivation to move forward and do stuff. And it doesn't mean do stuff to where you're trying to, you know, be the best at what you're doing in a sense, but move forward in that you're always trying to either, you're helping someone else or you're connecting someone else with this, or, you're working on something else, whether it's with your kid or, your spouse. But it's kind of just being in this community, you see that everyone is kind of in the same direction in a sense. And I think that's super helpful. And that's what's great about the school community, which um, Joel didn't join yet, but
I'm not
um,
doing good. You're right.
he's
Shit.
fucking.
Shit.
But that's
Dude, he's got his own community. I would say, man, it's a lot to like run your own business, and at the same time you be the moderator for the community. I see why people outsource it to them Filipino VAs, but it's a lot. It's a lot, dude.
well. So that's another thing that has come up in the school community, right? Is is you know just hold on, is kind of that $20
Okay.
should
In
things
in
be
regards to
more
what?
the school community. So that has been a
Okay.
big topic recently in a sense where MJ was on the other week, and he's always looking to. MJ is a hustler. He's always looking for that motivation and people to push him. So, but he he joined school for 1 month basically for the $20,
Okay.
and he thought there was great content there and the community is great. He just felt that for because you're paying, more things should be exclusive and or kept in school. So like, so Zuber does his lives now on Sundays, and he posts it on YouTube after. So for some people, and after MJ mentioned that, and I talked to Zuber on our recording the other week, there's more people that actually kind of feel that way. I mean, they've probably never said anything before, but they've come out and are like, yeah, I think, but because it's only $20 too, they're kind of like, it doesn't matter that. I mean, if they're paying like $100 a month, they'd be a little bit more vocal about it. Like, hey, why are these things being put on YouTube after, right? So I definitely feel like the $20 is that kind of sweet spot. But at the same time, I do. But then someone else brought up a good point, and I think this is probably more where um, maybe it might change a little bit, is because someone actually brought up where if it's not posted on YouTube or recorded, there might be more open or genuine or personal discussions about situations and what they need help with and whatnot, because it's not going to be thrown on you. They know it's not going to be thrown on YouTube after, because some people might be holding back certain things because they know it's being recorded and they know it's going to be put out for the world, right? So that's something that actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. I could see that, right? Like there's like the $20 is not like it's not a huge pain point
Yeah.
like you're saying, right? Like it's people like I'll get over it. Um Interesting. So MJ, I'm assuming, right? Stop. He was like discontinued. being in the school community?
For now, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
maybe if Zuber comes out and says like, these recordings, or maybe not even recorded, we're just gonna have these live Zooms, and it won't be thrown on YouTube after. Then maybe that's the holdup for some people, right? Because maybe they feel they can't, or they can't put their question out there because maybe they don't feel comfortable putting their situation out there or asking that question for everyone to be in the world actually, basically, when it puts on YouTube, right? So that might, I don't know, I don't know if that's that big of a holdup for some people, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you think Zuber would be open to changing that inclusivity of letting people make it private so they could, right, explore their own personalized situation, right, without any I don't know if it's fear, but any I guess, well, for the lack of a better word, like fear of their situation kind of being put out on YouTube as a whole.
Hold on. I'm trying to. Hey, okay. Joe, you got to be the Bitcoin guy today because Proof Oak's tuning in. So he's always tuning in, hoping for a Bitcoin person to come on. So I got to throw him a bone a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I mean, there's talk of elevator up sometime pretty soon. GameStop may be releasing some info about the Bitcoin that they've been purchasing. GameStop price is $28, I think Wednesday, Thursday, and then all of a sudden now we're at $34. Forget where it's at now. But yeah, that's getting a little crazy. I still think there's going to be a major pullback before we have the next massive run. GME's at $35. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Michael Saylor, what he's doing with MicroStrategies. I mean, it's just buy a little bit here or there.
Joel,
That's my goal, is to be able to increase income, save more money, and then be able to acquire some more, either GameStop or Bitcoin, MicroStrategies, things like that. Tesla as well.
Hear that, Mark? Speak closer to the mic for that one. Dude, Joel, wasn't it you that talked about the Supermax ETFs for high yield? Like you could do like MicroStrategy. Was that you on Instagram? No? Ah, man. It's another. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it's like they do covered calls, and it's like an ETF and it's a monthly dividend, and it's they do it for various types of stocks. I'll throw it in the chat. I don't know. It'll be another topic for another day.
There was one that I was talking about called Misty. That's like Bitcoin based, but not MicroStrategy specifically. But
yeah. No, Misty's one of them.
Yeah. Throwing off an 80% annualized dividend, something like that. Well, that specific one.
let's see. What did he say? Hyder says, with Bitcoin thesis, Bitcoin is the most sound money ever created. Check your timeline. There was, I don't know if I saved it. There was I think it was George Gammon that posted it on X. I gotta look at it if I can find it. But I think he was basically pointing out how much people are talking about how it was almost like, I wish the decentralization of Bitcoin is more decentralized, like almost like it showed a chart of what individual or what company or who holds the most amount of Bitcoin. So it was this huge, it was top heavy that held the majority of it. So it was almost like, yeah, it's a decentralized currency, but how decentralized is it if this amount of individuals are holding the majority of it? And so I think I gotta find it, but George Gammon posted that on X, and I found that kind of interesting.
Well,
and I think
I was just say one of the things, I think this is Michael Saylor giving an example. It's like, if you want to, bring cash on a plane, they're going to confiscate your cash. If you want to bring a gold bar onto a plane, they're going to confiscate your cash. If you want to send a wire to a bank about a purchase of real estate or whatever it may be, they're going to ask you all kinds of questions about what it's for. Yet you want to send a Bitcoin to somebody, and there's nobody going to be looking over his shoulder, you know? So in that regard, decentralization versus like who owns it, I guess 2 different lanes, so to speak.
So yeah, he says, George Gammon posted, I hope one day decentralized money outside the financial system will be a little more decentralized and a little more outside the financial system. And it basically shows the top Bitcoin holders in the world. Yeah. So
yeah, whenever I start building ETFs, that's when I get a little skeptical.
Right? Because are you saying because you don't really know who's managing it?
Yeah,
or exactly what the details are?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have market makers, handling the, acquisition and disbursement of shares, all kinds of slippage, black holes of where the information goes. When do they actually execute the trades versus hold on to them? I don't know. The whole market maker, logistics, I have no faith and trust in. They make money. They make money
time and time again. They've showed them
all the information. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're a fan and in favor of direct to like consumer buying Bitcoin. Do you have it in? Do you stake it? Do you put it in cold storage? What is your philosophy on that? Or are you just sort of like hodl? Just buy and hold.
Hodl. Yeah, because once you got it in your wallets or whatever, I mean, like, you gotta live off of other means. Like you hold it. You hold it. Hodl that motherfucker.
Yeah, the chat keeps moving.
Good, lesson I feel like in all assets, right? You have this cash, you convert it into hard assets, right? And over the course of time, I feel like that's like the whole delayed gratification, right? So you're sort of investing for the future, and I mean I think our whole topic, right, is checking yourself 6-month time frame. But if like you have like this 5-10 year investment timeline, right, like you're more able to handle that turbulent like trade war, markets down 20%, like, or whatever, you're able to maybe keep the long-term goal in sight. So I think that's like the big picture, right? And
yeah,
I feel like we all can agree on has worked and proven to work time and time again.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna just say, Duranimo, Durable Venom, thanks for stopping by. Never seen you here. Please subscribe. Go check out Joe and Matt's channels also. It's at the beginning of the chat. I'll try to put it back in. But he says, well, Bitcoin reaching negative divergence extension weekly and quarterly is confirmed to start bear market. Watching every day, almost 6 years.
I don't understand that.
So are you waiting for a specific time to buy? So have you bought anything in the past 6 years? I'm curious to know that though. Michael, he's paired from someone else's channel, says, thanks to Matt and Jess, do it. I'm pushing my LTR to an STR. The goal is to cash flow $1,500 a month versus break even as an LTR. Having them help push me out of the comfort zone. No excuses. Make it happen. Yeah, Michael, I don't know if you ever seen, Ray has been on my channel. He's on a camping trip right now, so he's not available. But Ray he's in like the Tacoma area, Washington. He's a videographer, photographer. But same thing. It was like a kind of a comfort zone thing. He was kind of hesitant to do the short-term rental space. He finally, and Curtis, who's also on my channel quite a bit, Curtis was telling him like, dude, you're not too good to house hack. You're like, what are you thinking? And anyway, so he pushed it even further from house hacking to almost short-term rental. So he's basically short-term renting. He had this man cave in his house that he lives in, and they're using that as like a short-term rental now. So that was his first, and he's killing it doing that, and that pushed him to even now he's doing an out-of-state short-term rental in Michigan or Detroit, yeah, Detroit, somewhere in Detroit, but he's doing a short-term rental there, and he's doing it remotely, and yeah, he's killing it. That's his thing. Like he really feels like people need to get out of their comfort zone, and the cash flow is worth it. And so yeah, Ray's a good guy. Hopefully he'll be back on soon. But he does have a. I'll try to. He also has a new YouTube channel he started. I'll put that in the chat also. It's What Pros Do, and it's very professional because he has all the cameras set up and videography. So go check it out. Dennis, yep, Dennis, you caught up. You're in the school community, and you said you've mentioned to Zuber. You feel this school community is getting kind of watered down once it got past 200 members. And yeah, so I kind of mentioned that on the recording with Zuber also, that maybe I'm being selfish when I say that I don't like when there's too many people joining. Like I liked it better when it was a smaller community, and it's about 400 right now. So it's still fairly small, I guess. But yes, I mean, at that initially when it first started was definitely I felt there was more and better engagement. Every time there's new people joining, it's a lot of the same questions being asked in a sense, right? So the new people come in, they almost ask the same question that the previous person that joined, they asked those questions. And so, yeah, I did mention that to Zuber, but I mean, there's no real way around it unless, and Ned always brings it up too, is Ned thinks there should be tiers inside school as far as paid tiers. So, if you want a certain level or certain interaction, then you're going to pay a different amount, and that's going to be a kind of a different group or opened up to different individuals and whatnot. So you kind of have these different groups inside the school community. Jack, yeah, I did get your message. Yeah, I don't know. Omar is kind of a hard guy to get confirmed. So I don't know. And so we'll see how that works out. Um, Hyder says people are so ingrained into the legacy system, it's tough to adopt a new system without interaction with the old. Yeah, that definitely true. Um, this is I am new here. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, like I said, I'll put everyone's channels in the chat. Yeah, go please support. I try to do a couple lives a week right now. And just help people like even back to Hyder's point, kind of think differently a little bit and not get caught up in the rat race. Jim is here, grumpy contractor. Thanks for stopping by, man. Finally some guys with some brains. Wait a minute. Are you talking about Matt and Joel? Hey,
Definitely not. Probably not.
Curtis
Well,
is
I got
here.
a 500 on my SAT. I showed up first.
Hey, Curtis is here. So I didn't even know he was here, but I did mention him. So wonder if his ear. And that's the funny thing too. We were talking about channels growing and getting interaction and views, and our stupid bird video reel that I got of Curtis got like 1,800 views in like the first 30 minutes on YouTube. But it was basically
Hell yeah.
Curtis explaining why he hates birds. But yeah, out of all the stuff I put out, it was that video that's like number 2 on my most viewed list thing. Hyder says Lynn Alden told me, oh yeah, was she at the event? Hyder, was she at the Rebel Campus event? Or you're saying like you've messaged her on the side? But I enjoy her content also. Um, you mean timing the top isn't a good idea? Oh, okay, all right. Jim says because some people actually work for a living. Hey, I'm out on workers' comp right now. I'm taking advantage of this right now. Um, Geronimo says started dollar cost average about a year from now. Dennis says he hates birds too. What's up? What's up with that? Well, Dennis, if you haven't seen that little reel I put out of Curtis explaining why, go check it out. But he says fist bump to Curtis. The funny thing is, Curtis's uncle replied on Instagram like, "How did we even get here to this to that reel? Like, well, how did we get to this point? Oh, except for Eagles freedom. Yes, I absolutely agree, Dennis. Yes, um, but uh, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, what else were we kind of got off topic a little bit on goals and halfway point of the year. How are you gonna finish up the year then, Matt? What do you got looking for I know you was that your deal you brought in the school community or was questioning about the lease option or what is that? So what are you working on for the finish up
Oh,
the or
that
half?
so
Yeah.
that was so actually someone just reached out on Instagram, a classmate of mine, and they kind of explained their situation. Hey, I got I used my VA loan previously, and I moved stations, and now I'm in um the Fort Lauderdale area, and they got a situation where like they know the owner or the owners of the house. They're kind of good friends with them. They're renting month to month, but they're trying to bring up this idea of like, hey, how can I structure a deal? And their idea was a rent to own, or was the kind of the initial things, because I guess they're not in a position to probably bring too much of a cash outlay and have a lot money down for like a down payment for like a high cost of living area, and so kind of that's where that topic was. And they're asked like, hey, do you have anybody with experience with rent to own? And I'm like, well, I haven't done it. So that was my first initial. And so that's what I think is great about the school community too, is, you have lots of diversity of thought, lots of experiences, lots of different strategies. And so it was just as simple as, putting a message up there. I know Hunter responded, a couple other people kind of chimed in. And so, kind of took that information, shared it with the person interested, just so they could start thinking differently of, instead of just being like, I've heard of rent to own. I think this is the strategy I want. I think it brings into the conversation of, hey, like let's check out all your options. Let's kind of spend the next maybe week or two, educating yourself on, hey, these are the options, and this best fits, my scenario. So that was kind of the reason why I brought that up, because I personally didn't have any experience with it. So I was like, well, let me see if anybody else had.
You know who I haven't seen him around quite a bit, but he was on my channel. I got interviewed, but not when I was doing lives. Was Dong Tai. He used to be in the. I used to see him quite a bit in Lumberjack Landlords. I haven't seen him too much recently, but that was kind of his. He did a lot of lease to own for his tenants in a sense, but even what's that guy's name? Chris Crone. That was his kind of coaching method or strategy. He would do a lot of lease to own type things, and like I said, it's from the seller standpoint is definitely pretty lucrative, I think, in a sense, because a lot of times they were saying the buyers don't ever
Kind of back out of a deal or something.
or for whatever reason something falls through, right? So typically you get a down payment and a source or lump sum up front, and they're paying higher rent. A lot of times they're responsible for the maintenance to some extent, right? So they're the ones trying to maintain the property. But yeah, I think you just gotta find that right tenant. There's always risk in anything, right? Um, let's see. Proof Oaks says time to allocate your 401k into Bitcoin ETFs. Then you need more exposure. No, yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
Man, that would be the day. The thrift savings plan, the government's 401k version. If they got away from life cycle funds, CSI, GNF fund, and they came out with the Bitcoin, man, that would be bullish, because who owns the TSP, the thrift savings plan, right? It's BlackRock, right? Like they are the massive asset managers of so much wealth, at least for the government side of plays, and obviously private as well. So that'd be interesting.
Well, this is the thing that got me fired up last week is, Bitcoin's hitting an all-time high, hits 109 and 111. And I made a post about this. Crickets. You look on all the mainstream media websites, CNN, MSNBC, whatever, Bloomberg, there were no headlines anywhere about it. Why is that? Why would they not be talking about something making an all-time high? So I get fired up. They don't want you to know about it. They don't want you to know.
They don't. What does that tell you about if you only get your news from legacy media, right? Well, what are they trying to hide?
What is that on your shirt there? What you got on your shirt there?
Dude, this is personal excellence. Is the ultimate rebellion, dude. It's that real AF.
Yeah, I want to get the Future Looks Bright hat from Patrick Bet David. I keep forgetting to order it.
Mm.
But
When's your birthday? When's your birthday, dude? Somebody in the comments
I'm
give you a
I'm
birthday
gonna
present.
wear it. I'm gonna wear it to Vegas next year, where both of you better be.
Yeah. Yeah,
True.
I promise you, book
I
it,
heard
lock it
that. I
up,
heard that last week.
lock it up,
Yes,
lock it up,
I'll be there. I'll be there.
lock it up, or lock
My,
me up.
my friend Cam sent me Cam's just closed on his first property in Pittsburgh. He's going through the kind of property management side of things now, getting things finalized on that. Hopefully everything works out. So, anyways, he just closed on the property. We helped him get. He's putting in the paperwork for Section 8, and supposedly he's gonna get the rents from 850 to 1250. Supposedly, so hopefully that gets approved, the Section 8. So that'll be a big jump for him and good base hit, I think, for his first one, and get his feet wet. And like he said too, I think a lot of learning. He said, it's not just like buying a home, right? You got to There's all these little things that you don't realize. But anyway, he sent me this. I didn't look at it, but he says Trump Media Group plans to raise $3 billion to spend on cryptocurrencies. You guys got any thoughts on that?
Mainstream adoption, right?
Say it, Joel.
I mean, if you look, what's Apple's market cap? 3 trillion.
I'll tell you right here. I got Grok.
trillion.
I got Grok on standby.
What's Facebook? 2 trillion. These are just one stock out of many. Then you got the S&P 500 top, stocks that go into this ETF. What's the market cap of Bitcoin? About 2 billion.
Apple is 3. As of May 2025, the market cap of Bitcoin is 2.18. Dude.
I mean, if you think about it, global adoption is in process of happening. You're going to have more global treasuries, global governments that are going to be scooping up percentages of their portfolio of assets. Same thing with institutions, hedge funds. I'm surprised the market cap isn't higher than 2 trillion. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jim. Before I get to Jim's one, we'll get to Flavio. Flavio says, Joe, what kind of loans do you do on single family homes?
Oh, I mean, all the regular stuff, but a lot of the investor stuff, DSCR loans, cash outs, TLOCs. But yeah, all the regular FHA, VA, conventional stuff.
Dude, you want it? Joel got it, dude.
Watch out. You might need a translator with Flavio. He doesn't understand all my jokes when I message him too, so you might.
That's okay. I got dad jokes, so as long as he laughs, I don't care.
Flavio is a good guy, though, man. He's very supportive, and he's a great asset to the school community. So he's a super funny guy.
Professor Oak saying, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He's been orange pilled. I'm not sure. Do you mean that in a good way, Proof Oak? Let's see, Jack. Why strive for 25? I believe so. Dion chimed in the other week, I think, when we were on a live, and he said he wishes more people thought like Joel, and I believe he's referring to his strive for 25 message, that kind of stair step method of starting with one and get the next. So I'm just assuming that's what Dion meant by the way Joel thinks. But can you explain again what strive for 25 means?
Yeah, I mean, the 25, I get asked the question a lot. Okay, does it mean you got to be 25 to do this? No, it's just, hey, like if you can increase income, have a goal of setting 25%. If you can do that, then you're going to have options to invest at some point. And so that's the mantra behind it. And I'm a big, harnessing the power of the subconscious to help you reach your goals. If you put your vision, your goals in front of you every single day, it's just going to be a matter of time until you start to reach and make these goals happen. And so I believe that, especially the younger generation that are more tech savvy, have all the apps and the tools and the social media and the this and that, that if we're talking about increasing income and saving money, if that becomes more mainstream, you're gonna have a lot more, positivity coming out, from that next generation. So that's my goal, is just to be able to, and that's the thing, is that everybody has a course, everybody's got a coaching platform, and want to charge thousands and thousands of dollars, but like all of it is just certain information wrapped up in a certain way, and that's not what my platform is about. It's just, hey, how can we spread the word of, people getting ahead and building the right skills and income streams. So yeah.
Hopefully that was helpful, Jack. So like I said, Jim, grumpy contractor, he says, am I gonna wear the gorilla suit with Crocs to the next event? So that was a big topic a few weeks ago. We did jump in that whole one gorilla versus 100 men kind of discussion. But yeah, so anyways, it's going to be a gorilla Croc suit at the Vegas event next year, maybe. Geronimo says the Google trend for, before Proof Oak says, orange pill. He says, good way. It's the only way, being orange pill.
Yeah.
Geronimo said the Google trend for Bitcoin starts pickup. So the whale preparing news for retail to jump in and provide exit. My toad. Okay. Geronimo, why don't you give us a little more backstory on you? Where are you from? Do you invest in just Bitcoin, crypto? Give us a little more backstory on you. Joe V, my new great dad joke. What has 5 toes but is not your foot? My foot.
Dude, Joe loves that one.
I was loving that one.
I saw him dying over there.
I was dying like 2 minutes ago. Dying again.
Yeah, dude. It's funny.
Yeah.
It just gets better with time, man. Oh, dude. So here we go. I got. So with that Strive for 25, dude. So I was reading this book, and this morning it caught my eye. I want to share with you. So here we go. Your dreams, because you know how you talked about having that in your subconscious, right? Your goals and visions, right? Visually available. So your dreams will align with your discipline, your dedication, and your determination. So do you think that kind of summarizes like kind of that Strive for 25, where you have these goals, you have these visions, right? But really what comes down to it is that day-to-day application, the consistency of, hey, I got this earned income, I'm on a budget, I'm saving at least, right, 25% of my disposable income, so I could then invest that money and provide for the future. How would you kind of like, would you say that's like a good summary, or am I missing something for those listening out there?
No, I mean, I think that's a good summary. And, I dig deeper on that in the sense that like, I'm ADHD, like if it's in front of me and it's capturing my attention, I'm in, or I might be falling asleep in 2 seconds, like in and out. So I have to do these things, read my vision, read certain books in the morning, have a morning process, the workouts like that, I have to do these things to be able to keep, going and be on my mission. And so it's like, I know when I talk about the comfort zone earlier, right, today on the, I think maybe before you get on, it's like, okay, you get home from a long day of work, maybe you eat dinner and it's 7:00. Then what do? You sit on the couch? Do you read, watch TV for 2 or 3 hours and then go to sleep? Or maybe you're on Amazon and you buy something for the weekend, or you buy clothes, or so it's like, the whole idea of, not to go down a different rabbit hole, but like, people who that have addiction problems, right? If you just want to delete something, you got a problem, because you're going to have to fill it with something else. And that's the thing is, not delete, but replace. And so that's why I talk so much about income streams, is that if you are working on an income stream, maybe 30 minutes a day or a couple hours a week, the physical of action of doing that, you're pushing out other things that you could be spending time or dollars on somewhere else. So that's why I talk about income stream so much, is adding and replacing things is something that I believe
in. You bringing that up, I completely forgot about what I want to tease you about first, though. It's about you. Did you know you posted that basketball video of yourself?
No, not until you messaged me.
I saw this like slow motion reel of Joe shooting baskets by himself.
It was a story, I think.
Or yeah, I was like, "What do you?" It's like, why is it in slow motion? He's
I was
like,
working on my in and out move, and then
he was in full speed.
Joel's ready just in time for the playoffs, man.
I know. I'm still crying though. Steph never made it back.
You're the Golden State, right? That's your
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey, morning, Jen. Jen stopped by. Thanks for stopping by. Jen just was in Austin. Oh, Austin? Yeah, she was in Texas somewhere, checking on one of her rentals. So that was pretty cool for her. She went for work. I guess her boss was going there, so she actually took a work trip, and then she was able to check some of her rentals and meet her realtor in person for the first time, I believe. So that was probably cool for her. Geronimo says, I am Rad. Just joined ORAT 3 days ago. Oh, okay. You're ORAT in the school side? Oh, try to invest in Pittsburgh. Bought my oh, okay. I remember the name. I better be a little more professional then if you're trying to invest in Pittsburgh. It can't be like fucking around here and stuff. But small crypto investor, small online.
You hear
Cool.
that, Joel? He's trying to kick us off. He's trying to tell us it's time to go.
No, I don't want these guys to think I'm just.
Come on
But
in.
anyway, well, we'll just to that point though. It's like I'm not. I really don't want to do any partnership. Not this is not Geronimo. It's not here directed at you, but I'm not trying to do partnerships, and that's just not my avenue. Like I really don't want that headache of working with other people. But it's funny, not funny, but it's so many people now are reaching out to me about Pittsburgh. Like even I got Alex Deacon on the other day, who we kind of work with quite a bit in Pittsburgh, and contractor guy, wanted to come on. Omar, we got Jeremy Taggart and his team coming on now quite a bit, and they're getting a lot of referrals from us. But even like some guy messaged me on LinkedIn. Well, he messaged me on YouTube before, but maybe he didn't realize I commented back to him. But he found me on LinkedIn, and ends up he has I think he has 15 side by side duplexes. He said in Pittsburgh, he has 15 single family homes. He's done some syndications with people that I've done syndications with, and we kind of had the same experiences. And so, yeah, it was cool. So it's definitely interesting to pick his brain too. But it's been, helpful, I think, during the social media things. I've connected with a lot of people in Pittsburgh, and it's been helpful. Even I think it's getting other people in our community that is interested in going to those markets. Just seeing that I do have these relationships or people that they can reach out to that are boots on the ground there has been, easing people's minds to jump into that market. So yeah, it's been super helpful. Let's see.
What's your biggest hesitation or reason why you don't want to do any partnerships?
For me, it's just I don't want that headache of having to. I can't even have a date anyone without having an issue. It's just no. I mean, it's just that headache of having to. I'd rather have full control of everything, and I think part of it too is I know myself where maybe I don't take a lot of things too seriously in a sense, and it would probably rub someone or that does have money involved in it, where they're going to be maybe at a higher stress level or worry about a little bit more things than I typically do. And it would just be me probably driving them nuts also, or driving them kind of like, hey, why aren't you concerned about this, or why not that, right? So I think that's part of it. It's just I know myself, and I think that's part of it in a sense. Yeah, yeah. Joe wants to date me. Me and Joe are gonna when Joe shows up when Joe V shows up in Vegas, we're gonna do a baby podcast video together. Let's see.
Oh man.
Yeah, Geronimo. Yeah, reach out anytime, man. I remember your story from the school community. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, school's a great place. There's a lot of useful people, a lot of resources there. But same thing, right? It's whatever effort you put in, you're gonna get out of it. Oh, hi back. Yeah, Mojo Mindset, Jack. Hi, Jack.
Man, that's exciting, dude. Bought his first house 4 days ago. Dude, it's a big leap, man. That's a big leap. So that's exciting.
Yeah, see, so Jen, so Alex's last name is Deacon. So Jen didn't want to tune in because she thought I was bringing some religious dude onto my live, and she thought I was going to be preaching about stuff. And but anyways, but
Trying to convert the audience, huh?
yeah, but Alex Deacon is I always tease him as he's like the Yoda for me. I definitely feel like if I met him first in my journey in Pittsburgh, I'd be much further ahead. So I always but I think that's also why I resonate and me and him get along really well is because his story is a lot. I mean, yeah, he's in Pittsburgh, so a little bit different, but his investing story is a little bit like mine, where he probably went quicker than he should have, and he did make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, and but over time, he's corrected that. And I think that's why, like for me, I really relate to his story. Like he was telling me, like, and I mean, I'm not at that point, but he was telling me, and he talked about it on the live too. He was losing like 4K a month, in the beginning at one point, and he had to sell good properties to stay afloat, right? And for some people, that's kind of to wrap their head around that, right? That is the struggle, right? Why wouldn't you try to sell the crappy properties, right? But he was like, no, because those crappy properties, I don't have the equity in them, or they're harder to move. So I needed to sell the good ones. Not like he wanted to, but I needed to sell those to stay afloat. And then after time, yeah, he was able to liquidate from the crappier ones and upgrade. But he had to do it to do at the time. And I think even like Cody Davis was talking about it on Zuber's channel one time. Is sometimes in the beginning you got to just figure it out. Like, yeah, you may not want to use your credit card, but you have this bill you have to pay, right? Or you have to figure out how to get that credit on this credit card, right? So there is platforms out there that people use to basically make that credit card into like a cash advance without having to pay the cash advance fee, and you pay for bills. Um, but you have to figure it out, right? And I think that's why me and Alex related. We kicked it off, and I work with Alex, but Jeremy's a great guy too. I work with Jeremy too, but Jeremy's the younger guy. Jeremy's the guy that still has his little more hustle in him, I think. Alex is definitely on that in that retirement mode. But it was good to hear Alex too, how he's trying to consolidate his portfolio, kind of bring everything maybe a little bit closer to home in a sense. So he has this portfolio where maybe the properties are spread out in Pittsburgh in a sense, or these outlying communities, but now he's trying to consolidate and bring everything a little bit closer to home and easier to manage. So
yeah, I mean, I think I look at my journey, right? I mean, I was building and growing from 2013 to 2022 timeframe. Learning, growing, doing, failing, learning, growing. And I think it depends on where somebody is in their journey, right? I mean, if you're growing your portfolio, it's a different mindset than if you're consolidating or pulling off the gas pedal in terms of advice and mindset and the things you're going to do. Like for Mojo, right? I mean, when you look at your career, how long you been in the military?
Dude, I'll hit 8 years in this summer. So it's just it doesn't seem like a long time, but I mean, those 8 years start adding up. And then next, it's 10 and 12 and you're approaching 20, right? It's like you blink an eye. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's no joke.
So, I mean, like for you, right? I mean, get to 20, get your pension, retirement. Maybe you move a couple times, PCS along the way, which is a different trajectory than Mark, who's pushing 65, and he's on the tail end of his journey. So he's just coasting, at this point.
That's right. That's right, dude. My man's doing hot yoga, making sure he's staying flexible.
No, I'm actually looking into starting some peptides and stuff. So I'm going to start digging deeper into that. But yeah, but that's the funny thing too, right? So I think people are always trying to balance, right? So you're talking about health and you're talking about whatever relationships, your business, but then what? And I think you kind of get caught up into that, and that's kind of what keeps you in the rat race a little bit. Whereas sometimes you just have to suck it up for a while and put that focus in. And you notice, like you notice even Zuber. I even saw Sean Cannell from Think Media, I believe. But so much people, right? Maybe they've done that 5-10 year grind, but then now everything is about their health again, right? So now they're able to commit back to their health and refocus on that. And I think that's super interesting. How maybe they neglected it for a little bit, or maybe it wasn't as much. I mean, yeah, they I'm sure they worked out, but it wasn't the focus. But once they hit that certain point, now they can just completely dedicate everything, right? And you can be on maybe the best supplements. You can have a cleaner diet because it's you have more money coming in or resources, right? So I think that's an interesting point to how to help get out of the rat race. But Curtis, back to Curtis's question. I know Curtis, he heard me talking about credit into cash. It's not, and so that's also why people want to get those 0% interest credit cards or business credit cards. But there is sites, and I know there was more than one, but there's like Plastique. So you get an account there, and you can basically almost like because sometimes some vendors, um, they don't, you can't, how is it, you're almost going to pay it through using that credit card. Like you get the credit card and they send the check to the vendor in a sense. So there is a small fee, but it's almost like a cash. You're using it as cash, but you're using these 0% credit cards to some extent. So Plastique is one site that you can use to pay bills and whatnot. So go check that out. I have used them before. There is a small fee. Um, Let's see. Geronimo, just FYI, I'm not trying to promote my company. It is my only Google account, which I use only to do business. Sorry about that. Is that not quite sure what that means? Is that what your Geronimo
You
Duramo
post the
Venom
link.
Solar Animal Repeller? I don't know. Maybe is that your company, Geronimo? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Did you post something? I didn't see
I
anything.
didn't see a link.
Or is
And,
that?
and if you have a YouTube channel, post it, right? Post your channels, right, Mark?
Yeah, post your channels. Yeah.
So we can
The
follow it.
one and only Nicole is here. Thanks for. Uh, well, I don't know if either one. I agree with you, Nicole. I don't know if you're talking about Joe V or you're talking about Joe with an L. So you are my favorite transgender YouTuber. So yes, either one you're referring to, I agree with you. You are now my favorite, the one and only Nicole. I'm not sure who
right.
you're referring to, but
Well, Joe
thanks for
just called
stopping
me
by.
75, so
But before you go, before Joe tries to kick you off, please subscribe so that you can come back and make those comments again about either one,
It's
Joe
right.
V or Joel.
Gotta keep things exciting. Can't be too serious all the time.
Hey, what is Joe V talking about? 65 more like 75. What does he refer to that? Is that retirement he's talking about?
you
I
must
didn't,
have missed that.
I missed it. What are you guys talking about?
I was talking about how Mojo had,
You
12 more
got just
years.
eight
He's
years. Yeah,
20.
yeah.
He has pension,
Oh,
retirement, a couple
Different
PC
season.
buses. He's in a season of growth. Probably acquire a couple more properties. I said that you were on the last leg. You were 65, and
yeah.
just coaching.
And Joe, so the reason why I wear a hat all the time now is because Joe V always talks shit. He's blinded, he said, by my bald head during the live, so I have to wear a hat
Dude,
now.
you
So
should get a hat that says instead of the future's bright, the forehead is bright, dude. I'm telling you, that could be a good little spin. That'd be a good little spin, man.
but yeah, sorry, Curtis. But yeah, Plastique, go check them out if you need a way to pay bills, using credit cards that vendors may not accept these credit cards or whatnot. But that's yeah.
You have a referral link for people?
I do
You still
not.
do that?
I do not have a referral link for Plastique. I haven't used them in a while. It's been that was, like I said, that's kind of an early. I mean, not that I'm not early, but when you're trying to figure shit out in the beginning sometimes, and you figure out how you have to pay certain things. Yeah, so that is one option. And that's how people were accessing like 0% credit cards. So they get these 0% credit cards, and then they would use the Plastique sites to basically buy things or pay for things and whatnot. Let's
Then I
see.
drop off in a few minutes.
Yeah, whatever, man. You can leave early. Matt shows late. We can just work around it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
I'm doing
appreciate y'all.
Damn right, bro. Get that run in. I'm doing a live today at 2 Central with Kobe down in Florida, and then a couple guys in Tennessee.
Who?
You know Chris Ainati, and he's
Who?
bringing on somebody that's AI automation.
Wait, who in Florida?
Kobe.
Why is he in Florida?
Oh, where is he at?
Kobe's in Texas.
Oh, Texas. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Texas.
Hey, if it's not Texas, it's Florida, dude.
Well,
Are you talking AI automation in regards to small businesses or in real estate or just in
Real
general?
estate.
That's like
Real
what their
estate,
niche
but then
is.
in
Oh,
general.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It's another big up and coming thing, man.
All right, what time again you said? I can't even
65 Central. I mean 2 Central.
What is that?
Yeah.
2 Central
Yeah,
is
dude.
9 Hawaii time.
Dude, that's public math. Round of applause.
Well, I gotta get rid of all that. I just messed up an appointment because I said Eastern and that person thought Central, and they're like, "Yeah, I thought we are doing it at this time," and I'm like, "But that's always why I put it in Eastern, so it's that way. It's just easy for me to keep track of it, and I don't have to." Text Joe. See, Joe V likes you now, Joe. He says Texas, Florida are both south, so he agrees with you. But before you go, then Joe, I mean, is there anything you're gonna change maybe for the second? Or is there something that maybe you've done first half, maybe not working, and you're gonna scrap it, or you? So how's the second half of the year gonna look for you?
Yeah, I'm doubling down on just content, relationships. The YouTube lives is something that I'm really going to be very intentional about bringing people from different parts of the country onto the channel, and then doing the shorts and just bringing people into my ecosystem that I'm trying to build. Because I look at my journey building a real estate portfolio from the ground up, one primary residence at a time. Buy the next one, turn the old one to rental. And at this point in time, where rates are and prices are, my question to myself is this still a viable strategy? And, I think it is, but there's only time will tell. But still, I do believe real estate is going to be a store of value and a hedge against inflation. So I think, anybody that's self-employed that, wants to be able to minimize taxes and build wealth, real estate still, a major tool in the tool belt. So that's something I'm going to doubling down on, trying to be able to get in front of more business owners. So that's one of my missions going forward, is really kind of be more specific with my content and my messaging to my audience.
Right there, Geronimo. He's a business owner. He put his channel in there. He says a couple of videos about his product. But yeah, cool. We'll check it out, Geronimo. Maybe you should post it in school, man. Post it in school. Just let everyone know. Everyone will probably come check it out, subscribe. Everyone's super supportive there. But yeah, man, that's what it's about. Just put yourself out there. So like, if anyone hasn't seen my most recent interview with Bree, a realtor in Florida.
Dude, I gotta watch that. She's funny, dude.
So she just posts some crazy ass reels, and she was actually interviewed by realtor.com. So she's getting all these. I think she said even like TV companies have been reaching out to her to almost like do a like follow her like a show kind of thing.
That's awesome.
So
doing impressions.
Yeah, she did. So she did her Orange Man Trump impression. She's making fun of Tesla. I don't know. She made fun of Tesla, so that's why she's my favorite. She made fun of the Tesla people, or people that drive Tesla, I should say, not the Tesla.
That was funny. The driveway can fit a Tesla, dude. I was like, oh shit, this one's going crazy.
But Flavio says he'll be there, Joel. He'll be there at your live. Sounds like.
Sweet.
I'd go live with. Hey, if you need someone, are you talking about today, Curtis? Joel, Curtis is saying he'll go live with you, Joel, if you need someone.
I got 3 already on today. Next time. This I'll be also going live this Saturday. So yeah.
Speaking of while you're going live, so now you're doubling down on YouTube, right? You probably got to go. We put a pin
No,
in
it's
this.
okay.
But
Okay.
your editing / at what point do you hire an editor, or are you just doing, hey, take the whole clip, put in Opus clips, let AI auto generate some shorts, spend maybe a couple minutes, 2 to 3, edit, schedule auto post? Because that's kind of what I do. I feel like it's a little bit more
Yeah.
manageable, but obviously you have that, you're doubling down. So what are your thoughts on that? Or is it still kind of like, hey, we're just gonna test some stuff out, see if it works, and then kind of iterate and go from there?
Yeah, I mean, I started messing around with captions, which is what Mark, and I were sharing. He uses captions tool. I do
Mhm.
like that, and I gotta build back up a little bit more of a war chest before I start to automate and offload stuff. But the biggest thing about YouTube for me is more trying to build relationships with people. The views and the comments, all that stuff will come with it, but I'm trying to be very intentional of who I want to be able to, build relationships with, more higher end, top producing type of people. And so
Okay.
trying to see where that goes. So like, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, and Tennessee are kind of that area that I'm focused on. So, and that's the thing from Mark, right? Like I keep saying, you need to build your own little online course, make it free. Get people into your ecosystem. Build an email list. So you're doing this. You might as well, build something.
Curtis says Saturday could work. So I don't know. What do you got going on Saturday then, Joe?
Well, the live that we did 2 Saturdays ago,
Okay.
I guess it was, I'm going to be doing the same thing on Saturdays, talking shop.
And
And
what
then
time was
every
that?
Tuesday. I think we did it 3. I'll probably do it at 3 Central.
Okay. Curtis, I don't know. You available, Curtis? If
Okay.
you message, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got to bounce, Joe, just bounce.
Yeah, I got to bounce. Curtis, what's the best way to get a hold of you? On Instagram?
Send them a bird message. Send it by pigeon.
Get pigeon mail. Yeah, he'll love that.
Pigeon mail. Cool. All right, guys. Dude, that was good shit. Good shit.
All right,
Hey,
Joe.
yeah,
Thanks.
been a pleasure, man. Good to catch
Mark.
up.
Oh yeah, Curtis. I forgot. Don't forget. Tune in Friday. Bree's gonna be live with Curtis. That's gonna be a fun one.
That's awesome. I'll be checking that out for sure. All right, see you, Joe. See you, Mark.
All right, man.
See you, dude.
One thing I'll say, Matt, is
What's up?
I know you don't do much editing though, right? On your videos, on your shorts.
No.
Can you at least take the
I'm a
words
one-man
from
band.
crossing across my face every time?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't care. I'm just playing. I'm just like,
no,
dude,
this is good. This is good critiques, man. I guess this is good critiques.
at least put a little effort into it. It's like every
Dude,
time.
it's funny, man, because it's
that
like
bastard, man.
I'll just be sending it, dude. Like I'm just like, yo, send it. Like this is fine. I'm just trying to get some volume out, right? Like eventually I'll try to find a good system that works. But no, I can get
I'm
that.
like, should I accept this? He's like words across my face the whole time.
Dude, I got you. I'll do one today. After we finish up here, I'll do one today. I got you, dude. I got you. But
No, but
yeah, in terms of the YouTube stuff, it's been just these lives, I think it's just a little bit more sustainable.
so
slow and
you
steady.
post directly from Opus, or you?
Yes. So I use the I think
Scheduling side.
yeah, I have the basically whatever the account, wherever the tier. I think it's pro. Let me double check. But yeah, basically, there's an auto YouTube Live upload feature. So it's like once this YouTube Live is complete, it goes right into Opus Clips to edit the video, spits out the shorts. From there, I'll go in and edit and then schedule to YouTube, Instagram, and X. So, and you can schedule it either to post instantly or I think it's probably like maybe like a week, 2 weeks out. I've only done like schedule it for like the week, but ideally that would be my thing is like pick a dedicated day, schedule out the content so that way at least it's consistent and stuff's getting posted out there. But
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to just take it like one, like captions is like Joe was saying. So I told he wanted to know what I was using, and captions makes it easy to almost like make it kind of that whole like jump cuts, and it puts
Mm,
all the different kind of coloring in the back and all that. So caption, you just got to put it in there and then choose whatever style you want, and it does the whole automated stuff. But I think you can schedule it from captions also, but only to certain platforms. I don't know if YouTube's one of the options, but
okay. Got you.
yeah,
Got
but it's
you.
like one step further. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
man.
not too bad.
Well, I don't know, man. Well, hopefully you're in school more often. I don't see you in school very much, but uh,
I try to pop in here and there. You know, I finished up a
yeah.
lease.
Did you finish your light? Did you get your license yet?
That's another goal
Curtis
that I
got
have.
his.
That's another goal I have. I told you July 31st, dude. I just completed a my work at work. I had we like do upgrades and syllabus events. So I just finished a big one. So that kind of gives me a little bit more free time now. So don't you worry, man. Is Curtis joining EXP?
No, Curtis joined. I believe it was maybe a friend. Their
Oh, okay.
brokerage. But he did join someone else, so he's gonna learn from them. But yeah, I'm glad
Hmm.
Curtis passed his in a timely manner. You're definitely taking the whole amount of time to get yours. I think I might have my surgery before you actually get your license, but I think my surgery is scheduled for July 28th. So I'm just waiting around on workers comp right now. Um,
Damn,
well,
okay.
no. So someone dropped the ball because I was waiting for like a month after my official diagnosis, and they said, "Oh, just wait for your surgery date." So I was waiting, and a couple weeks go by, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" So I called the surgery place. They're like, "Oh, we're waiting for workers comp to approve it." So I finally get a hold of workers comp, and then workers comp is like, "Oh, we don't even have your request for surgery." So I'm like, "What?" So anyway, someone didn't. Anyway, so
Dang,
they
dude.
find
Somebody didn't submit the paperwork.
yeah. So, anyways, they finally approved it, and they're like, "Oh, you can." The earliest is June 28th, and I'm like, "Okay." I said I can do June 28th, but I'm going to be in Japan like the first 2 weeks in July. So, do I have to start rehab right after? And they're like, "Oh, yeah, you got to do the surgery and have restart rehab." So I was like, "Oh, then I can't do it end of July." So they're like, "Oh, then I mean end of June." So they said, "Oh, the
And
next
they'll
earliest."
push you to the
Yeah.
right.
So they said the
Yeah.
next earliest is end of July. So I was like, "Oh, I guess that's when I got to do it." And then so yeah, now I'm just waiting. So shit, I could be
You're
out
able to get
till
paid your normal salary though? Just no overtime or
so
whatever?
you have 128 120 days of full
Hmm.
pay. So once that's done with, then workers comp will cover 2/3, and then you gotta decide if you want to use any leave. You could just take 2/3 your pay if that's what you prefer to do, or you can use 1/3 leave for every whatever. So I'd probably use about 80 to 100 hours of leave every month if I stay out
Okay.
even longer. So I don't know. I could be out till October if anything. Because initially they said 3 months after surgery I'd be out. So
Is the
I don't
recovery
know.
time?
Possibly. I don't know.
Mm,
So on the initial paperwork, they just for now put 1 month of rehab, but on the official diagnosis, it was possibly 3 months after surgery, so 3 to 4 months. So
damn.
maybe it depends how quick or how much time I want to take before I go back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, shoot. I mean, yeah. If you're not feeling, your body will telling you a whole different story, man. So
Yeah,
it's not
we'll
like you want
see.
to re-injure it again, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. But then I got so much stuff to catch up on when I get back, probably. I got to get all my probably because a lot of certs might expire, so I probably got to catch up on all my certs, certain
Yeah,
things,
recertify and
some of the
yeah, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so it's I don't know. We'll
What's
see.
everybody's what EMT out of firehouse, basic
Yeah,
EMT.
so I actually missed part of that. So every I think it's every 2 years we got to recert, and you got to have so many hours. So
Right.
I missed part of that. So I know when I come back, I'd have to do that training or get those hours. And there's another training I know I missed where I know I gotta get. So we'll see. But Mark Ham is here. He says, yeah, Mark Ham is in OKC. So I know he's cheering for OKC to beat the Wolves. So he says he hope he doesn't blow this 3-1 lead like in 2016. Did you see that interesting thing? Because OKC has Shai Gilgeous, right? The
Yeah,
SGA.
SGA. Hmm.
But did you see that how he was drafted also by the Hornets? I completely forgot about that.
Really?
So
Oh, it's
so
the
right.
trade deal.
So Kobe was drafted by the Hornets, and on draft night he was traded to the Lakers, right?
Hmm.
The Hornets drafted Shai, and on draft night they traded him to the Clippers on draft night.
Hmm.
So yeah, interesting.
Damn, Hornets dropping the ball, dude.
Oh, yeah, on
But
two
he,
NBA.
but he kind of peaked. He had like a couple years, kind of getting his feet underneath him, right? But I mean,
In
yeah, like
Clippers,
he's been,
yeah.
but he was. I mean, when they traded, because the Pacers, what they trade? No, sorry, not the Pacers. Yeah, it was. Yeah, Paul George was part of that trade deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
So they
So
got
when he went to the
SGA,
Thunder,
and
yeah.
then like some, I don't know if it was 5 or 6. I don't know. I've had to look at the details, but like 5 or 6 first round options or whatever. Or I guess it was swaps or something. But yeah, I mean, dude, they made out like a bandit to get him at OKC. So
Yeah, he's turned.
cool.
I mean, yeah, he's past few years he's been ridiculous. But yeah, maybe we'll wrap up on this one then. Pete Curtis says, Matt, if Rockwell is an option, take your course through them for your license, I guess.
Oh, for the agent thing, I've already started the CE shop though. I mean, it's been fine, dude. So
Yeah, yeah,
I've already
Curtis.
committed.
He's just on the 7-month plan
I'm
right
on a
now. That's
slow chain, dude. I told you college was the best 6 years of my life. That took me 6 years to get my degree, baby. Yeah, I'm a community college product, so anybody can make it. Anybody can make it out there. I love it.
Uh, well, yeah, Curtis, if you're there still yet, I forget what brokerage you're with. Maybe post that in the chat. So if anyone in your area wants to reach out looking for a home, you can help them. But yeah, put what brokerage you're with, and yeah, I don't know how close Flavio is, but maybe you and Flavio can hook up. And Flavio still wants Flavio wants a room with you maybe in Vegas, Curtis, because I told him Ray's bringing his wife, so Ray and Curtis won't probably be rooming together this year. So Curtis Flavio might hit you up to split some costs because he knows you're always
Hey,
trying to save money.
get them 2 double beds. You'll be all right. You'll make it there.
Curtis don't care. Yeah. Hug you.
Yeah. Man, dude. Yo, actually, man, I meant to ask Joel, but have you done any referral business with Joel yet as an EXP agent on that side of things? I feel like that could be a good avenue where like we could obviously use our network and kind of help people out. But have you done any business like that?
I'm I'm actually horrible at like converting to actual money. Probably like
Yeah,
I've
getting
probably
to the
missed
finish
out on
line.
opportunity. Yeah, like I've probably could have cut. So even like the people in Pittsburgh, like I've never taken money from them for referrals. They're always like, oh yeah, we'll whatever, we'll pay you or send. And I'm like, nah, I don't.
You're like, don't worry about it.
Well, no, it's more I'm not because I'm not doing it for that reason, right? Like I'm doing it more to help people get started, but I'm also doing it more because I think just the bigger we grow or the more people we have investing there, then it just helps all of us out, right? Like it's more like, okay, we have whatever, 50, 60 doors combined now.
Right.
When somebody needs help, it's kind of like, okay, we got to help these guys because if we give this so and so a bad service, and maybe this person only has one property, but if we don't help him, right, then it's gonna give, then it's gonna like it'll get back to me or get back to someone else that has a bigger size portfolio, right? So I'm doing it more for that reason, where it's just helping us all.
Yeah, I
25%.
feel like that's a good thing too.
Huh. What does that mean, Dylan? 25%. I'm not sure. Is that the referral you're talking about? Huh.
Could be.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
saying send me some for indie, yeah. Well, like I said, man,
There's a lot. There's a lot of transactions out there that could happen, man.
there
You're
it
still doing
is.
the EXP referral base only, though, right? Or
No,
are you doing it?
I have my license to yet, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's more if I ever really, want to do something in Hawaii. But at this point, that's not really what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
But I
no, that's fair.
figure if I just do one sale again, it'll make up for
Cover
me
it.
just yeah. So that's just why I want to keep it active. But I'm not really focused on the sales side because I really don't. I mean, for most people, they shouldn't be buying a home in Hawaii in a sense. I mean, I think
Yeah,
people
it's tough.
definitely, people definitely overextend themselves here, and I did that.
It's a high
But
cost of living. Yeah,
well, you get caught up in that whole this is your best asset, right? And um, it's going to be worth whatever, X millions, when you in 30 years or whatever. So I think a lot of people get caught up in that. Oh, I want this home to, and people aren't like that. I mean, maybe our parents were, right? I mean, they stayed in my parent, like I said, they've been in,
just
50
more
years or
affordable though on
y-
their salary at the time, right? Like I feel like there was a right now it's such a crazy disconnect between median
yeah.
salary and average home price.
Yeah, but it's just that generation was like, you found your job, you stayed at that job for 30, 40 years. So you probably didn't relocate, you stayed in your home 30, 40 years. And that's just how it was. But now people are working remote, jumping jobs. Even just people want to travel more. So I think, but in Hawaii, you get caught up so much in that. Oh, this is like, it's going to be worth, $2 million by the time you retire. So people just definitely overextend themselves a lot of times. Troy, yeah, karma, you give openly, you receive, yeah, whatever. Like I said, that's all what it is. I think that's the whole community, not just myself. I think the whole community is willing to help and give things. Jim attracts. Yeah, you know what? That's what keeps it interesting, Jim. So I'm glad you are a part of the
It's
troublemaking club,
contributing to
Jim.
it.
Yeah. So Jim, don't sell yourself short. You are definitely up there. So, but that's what makes it fun, I think, right? So it makes it interesting, and sometimes we need to take a break from talking real estate or whatnot. So. But yeah, Matt, thanks for showing up late. Like I said,
Yes,
you are the
always a
new
pleasure.
prima donna. I always got to worry about Joe, but now Joe's been on time like the past five, and you like
I gotta bring it back in. I gotta reel it back in, dude. I gotta reel it back in.
yeah.
It's all right.
But no, thanks for doing this, man. It's good to catch up. Hope to see you in school more often, do more lives. And oh, hold on. Dylan said, Matt. Oh,
July,
when's your
July,
test?
July, TBD, July. The exact date TBD, but it's July, dude.
Ah, boy.
Dude,
Yeah, well, you're cutting it close, man.
I'll be all
Wait,
right.
end of
I'll
July,
be all right.
right?
Yeah,
No.
it extends till end of July. I'll make sure it's done first week of July. I swear, I swear, I
Dylan.
swear,
Also, yeah,
man.
everyone here. Well, we don't want to. Let's knock on wood, but Dylan's first
He
listing,
passed.
he passed.
Oh, okay.
But his
Yeah,
first listing is pending or under contract right now.
dude, that's
So,
exciting.
dude, it was
Yeah,
like
hell
4 days. I think it was like 4 days. He posted it, and it was pending. So that was awesome. So congrats,
dude, that's
Dylan.
cool.
Hopefully get to the finish line on that one. He's telling you, Matt, yes, get your test done. Uh, oh man, Matthew Ellis. Who? Thank you for stopping by. Maybe we'll stay on for 5 more minutes for you if Matt can. Then, so
Hmm.
Go sprint instead of
Okay.
jog. But Matt
Yo,
Ellis
cut that
Craft said
timeline, dude.
just joined, want to listen for a while. So all right, maybe
That's what's up.
yeah.
Good to meet
So
you, man.
but only if you subscribe. You gotta subscribe and you gotta hit that like button, and we'll wrap things up. Though we'll do 5 more minutes for
Yeah.
you then. So go
Dude,
do some
how's the
sprints.
growth been with YouTube? Let me see. I'm gonna look how many you're at.
I am at
857 subs,
I'm at
dude.
eight. Oh,
Okay.
so that means you haven't joined yet, Matt, because I'm at eight. I was at 850. Not you. I was at
Oh,
857 this morning. So Matthew Ellis, go please
oh, I
subscribe.
see. I see
So
what you're saying. That's what's
But
up.
my viewership count has gone up quite a bit. Oh, maybe you weren't on it. We were talking about that. How definitely putting out shorts more
Hmm.
consistently has really kicked up the viewer count a lot more. So like I hit like 95,000 views like a month ago, and but that most of that was a lot of long form stuff, and then now that I'm putting out more shorts every day,
Shorts are starting to maybe keep
well,
like.
it's way easier to get the viewer count up,
Mm,
and you definitely see more views on that sense. So that's why like I said, Curtis's stupid bird video that we did got like 2,000 views in like whatever an
yeah,
hour.
and you
But
want those views to eventually convert to your original channel to watch long form, right? And obviously
yeah,
subscribe.
so I think the viewership, the views just help you get more interaction, and then you just get so this. It seems like the subscriber count is like consistent now, where every day there's a subscriber in a sense. Before you get like five at a time, then you wouldn't get anything for a while. But then now it just
Pretty
seems like
sporadic, a little
yeah,
bit steady.
now it just seems like there's like one. But so it yeah is but like I said, being on workers comp definitely has made it a lot easier to be more consistent with it. But Matthew Ellis, if I know you said you're gonna go for a jog or a run, but maybe fill us in where you're from, what do you invest in? You're just tuning in to look for
Dude,
make some
you're
trouble with
gonna get
us.
my man to trip. He's out here going for a jog, trying to type his bio. What's wrong with
Well,
you,
not
man?
bio, but I mean, like, where do you invest? Where are you from? Maybe someone
Yeah,
here
yeah,
can help you. Maybe someone is in your market, or But oh, thanks for subscribing. Yes. Um, yeah. I don't know. I mean, what else you got going on, man? What do you got for the rest of the day? How was your holiday weekend then, or
Memorial Day
Memorial
was
Day
good.
weekend? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man. I had duty. Uh, what's that? Sunday into Monday, so right, like 24-hour shift. I don't know if you guys at the firehouse do 24 hours or like multiple days on, but no, it was good, man. Good. Just trainer flight. No calls. No calls. People were recreational boaters were being safe out there. So yeah, it was good. Got that workout in. So
Thanks, Dixadum, for stopping by. Hopefully, you're talking to Matt, but
yeah, dude, that's all right, dude.
just
Let it roll off
subscribe.
the
I don't
shoulders,
care
bro.
who's speaking, but just subscribe.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. They're out there, man. Dude, there's too many
Yeah.
haters. I love it.
No, yeah, man. I said it was good. My next live, I'm trying to get Omar back on the contractor from
Mm.
Pittsburgh. I think everyone's waiting for that one, but it's kind of a busy time of year for them too. The weather's finally clearing up too, so Pittsburgh, I think a
We
lot of
can
people are
get some
trying to get
projects
trying to
going
get
for them.
project and work done, and I know he's trying to do a lot of stuff on social media too. So I see a lot more. He's walking through a lot of his projects more right now too. So I know he's trying to put more of that out. So I'll definitely try to get him on. But yeah, I'm trying to get those guys on more regular. Jeremy and Liam want to be on more, and like I said, Friday I will be on with Bree, like the Tampa realtor. Like I said, go check her
Oh
out.
yeah.
She is blowing up on social media. Curtis will also be on Friday, and Matthew Ellis says wanting to do more private money lending. Oh well, yeah, I think you'll find a lot of people here. Probably could use your services. Probably looking to do more things.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah.
Is that Cali? Oh, old guy REI, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. You know Frank? Oh shit, man. Yeah, no, Frank's a good guy. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. If anyone, before we wrap things up, if you have not, Frank is starting to sell the one rental. Oh shoot! Frank is starting to sell the one rental at a time T-shirts again for the ORAT community for the Vegas event because he wants to donate money to the Blind Center. So if you haven't, go pick up your shirt from Frank. There is the PayPal link. This is the front view of the shirt. So it has the ORAT, one rent at a time, the house with the one. And this is the back. I found my tribe. So if you have not, yeah, go pick one up. It's for a good cause. Be donating money to the Blind Center. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. This was a fun one. Good catching up with some of the originals, Matt and Joel. It's been a while.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah,
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
thanks
Always
for
a
doing
pleasure
this,
having
man.
you.